Hello everybody. The year 2024 became the witness of an extraordinary phenomenon in Australia, a country known for its diversity and openness to various cultures and religions. Amidst the hustle and bustle of major cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, thousands of people found light in the teachings of Islam, making this year a turning point in the history of religious development in the land of the kangaroo. How could Islam, which has long been known as a minority religion, attract so many Australians? The answer lies in the fresh and innovative ways of conveying the message of Islam. A society increasingly weary of materialistic life and pressure began seeking peace and meaning in their lives. Here, Islam, with its message of peace, balance, and brotherhood, successfully offered answers. Various creative outreach programs became the main attraction for those seeking inner peace. Events such as seminars, workshops, and discussions on the teachings of Islam were not limited to the Muslim community but were open to anyone interested in learning more. Through social media, Islamic messages became more accessible, reaching people from diverse backgrounds. In fact, some influencers and public figures began sharing their spiritual journeys leading to the embrace of Islam, inspiring thousands to start their own search. From young people who feel unsettled by their fast-paced lives to those who have long sought spiritual peace, Islam offers a rational and peaceful solution. Many began to be drawn to the concept of social justice within Islam, where every individual has equal rights and the well-being of the community is prioritized. Many were also fascinated by the values found in the Quran, which not only discusses worship but also ethics, human relations, and the relationship between humans and the universe. For many, embracing Islam was not an instant decision. Some needed time to delve deeper, talk to Muslim friends, or even visit a mosque for the first time. However, what they found there was comfort and happiness beyond measure. As one individual who had recently embraced Islam expressed, "I feel like I've found a place where I can be myself, without burden or prejudice." Additionally, many programs encouraged the public to see Islam from a broader perspective, engaging them in social, educational, and charitable activities that are an inseparable part of Islamic teachings. Awareness of the importance of making a positive contribution to society, especially in helping the less fortunate, became a major attraction for many seeking ways to be more useful to others. In the streets of major cities, some billboards and posters promoting the teachings of Islam began catching the attention of people who had never thought about it before. Books on Islam, which were once rare in bookstores, now sold out, with curious people searching for deeper understanding. Not only that, but the mass media also increasingly featured stories about those who had embraced Islam, providing space for people wanting to learn more. Behind this phenomenon, there is an interesting trend. Many people embraced Islam not only for spiritual reasons but also to be part of a community filled with humanitarian values and peace. Many felt that in Islam, they found something missing in their lives, something more than just daily routines, but a way of life that was more meaningful. Ultimately, 2024 became not only a year of increased Muslim converts in Australia but also a year that demonstrated how Islam could be accepted and appreciated in this increasingly dynamic society. Thousands of people who had previously known nothing about Islam now felt blessed with new knowledge that gave them clearer direction and purpose in life. It seemed as though Islam had become not just a religion, but also a way of life that brought peace to many in Australia. The year 2024 not only brought an increase in the number of Muslims but also marked a significant change in the religious landscape of Australia. Mosques, once known primarily as places of worship for smaller Muslim communities, have now become vibrant centers of spiritual life, full of activities, colors, and fresh energy. With the growing number of Muslims, mosques in major cities such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane struggle to accommodate the rapid influx of worshippers. Before 2024, mosques often appeared empty outside prayer times, with only a few individuals coming to pray or gather in small communities. However, with more people embracing Islam, mosques have now transformed into dynamic centers of activity. Every corner of the mosque is filled with laughter, warm conversations, and the footsteps of those just beginning their spiritual journey. Mosques are no longer just places for ritual worship but have become inclusive community spaces where everyone feels welcome and valued. Masjid Al Furqan in Sydney, one of the largest mosques in the city, clearly illustrates this phenomenon. Initially, this mosque could only accommodate a little over 100 people at a time, but now its capacity is doubled, and sometimes worshippers must pray outside the main prayer hall. Not only congregational prayers but also activities like religious studies, Quran classes, and seminars on Islamic values are always packed with participants, both new Muslims and those who have been part of the Muslim community for a long time. Moreover, some mosques have started offering special programs targeted at attracting the general public. In Melbourne, for instance, Masjid Al Tawhid hosts an open mosque day, where anyone, regardless of religious or cultural background, is invited to visit the mosque, learn about Islam, and speak directly with Muslim worshippers. This program aims not only to introduce Islam to the wider community but also to foster mutual understanding among different religions and cultures. A similar initiative is happening in Brisbane, where mosques hold charitable events that invite participants from various backgrounds to collaborate on social activities, such as distributing food to the homeless or collecting funds for natural disaster relief. Mosques have become more than places of worship, they have turned into centers of social solidarity that bring positive change to local communities. What is particularly interesting is how mosques are now filled not only with Muslims but also with people wanting to learn more about Islam. Some mosques even involve non-Muslim visitors in their events, offering open Q&A sessions that allow them to understand the teachings of Islam directly from the source. This creates opportunities to dispel misunderstandings and stereotypes that may still exist among some Australians. With the rapid growth of mosques, the biggest challenge is no longer about space but how to maintain the quality of the programs to remain relevant and meet the evolving needs of the community. Some mosques have started collaborating with younger scholars and religious leaders who have a fresher understanding and can communicate more easily with younger generations and the broader public. Additionally, mosques are increasingly sophisticated in utilizing technology to spread knowledge and connect worshippers. Many mosques now broadcast religious lectures live online, allowing Muslims from various regions of Australia to join in, even if they can't attend in person. This also provides an opportunity for new converts to Islam to learn more without fear or embarrassment, as they can do so from the comfort of their own homes. However, despite the rapid growth, this phenomenon presents its own set of challenges. One of them is how mosques can maintain their inclusive spirit and avoid becoming isolated from the community. As the number of worshippers grows, it is crucial for mosques to stay focused on their original purpose, which is to serve as houses of worship and centers for spiritual learning that are not focused on a single group but welcome every individual, regardless of their background. Looking more closely, this surge in growth highlights just how strong the appeal of Islam is among Australians. Mosques have now become symbols of diversity and unity, places where people from various backgrounds can come together in a stronger spiritual bond. This is where Islam has found its place in Australian society, not just as a minority religion but as an integral part of the social fabric, fostering greater mutual respect among communities. The year 2024 brought about a deeper change in Australia. Islam, once seen as a minority religion, now increasingly influences the social and cultural life of the country. This rapid development is reflected not only in the growing number of mosques and the thousands of people embracing Islam but also in a broader shift in religious patterns. In a society that continues to evolve and grow more multicultural, Islam has become a symbol of diversity, able to coexist with other religions while playing an active role in shaping a more inclusive social life. Many people who never previously considered exploring Islam are now motivated to understand it more deeply. This process has had a profound impact, particularly in changing how people view religion and religious practices. Islam, which was once perceived as a distant and exclusive religion, is now increasingly seen as a faith rich in values of humanity, brotherhood, and peace. On the other hand, this shift has also led to an interesting phenomenon: churches that were once bustling now seem quieter. In major cities, churches that were previously packed with congregants are now often attended by only a few people. Many attribute this to the growing number of individuals seeking spirituality in Islam, which offers peace and a deeper understanding of life. The conversion process is not just about embracing a new religion, it's about finding a place to rediscover the meaning of life. Churches, once the primary gathering places for Christians, now must share the stage with rapidly growing mosques. While churches in Australia continue to influence the Christian faith, this shift reflects the growing diversity in religious interest. People who previously felt disconnected from their religion are now seeing Islam as an alternative that provides answers to their spiritual restlessness. However, this does not mean that Islam is replacing the role of other religions. On the contrary, this phenomenon has created space for more open interfaith discussions. In many cases, mosques in Australia organise interfaith dialogue events, inviting religious leaders from various backgrounds to share their understanding of their faiths. These dialogues not only introduce the teachings of Islam but also provide space for followers of other religions to understand and respect each other's beliefs. Through such events, Australia's increasingly diverse society is learning that religious life is not about competition but about sharing values of goodness that can be applied in everyday life. Islam is no longer seen merely as a religion that teaches prayer and fasting, but as a faith that emphasizes social justice, caring for others, and promoting world peace. A tangible example of Islam's growing influence in social life is the contribution of Muslims to charitable and social activities. Many mosques regularly hold programs to help the less fortunate, such as free meals for the homeless, clothing donations, and fundraising for natural disasters. These social activities not only involve Muslims but also invite the general public to participate. This fosters a greater sense of unity among different segments of society, regardless of religion or background. The increasing visibility of Islam in public life has also positively impacted the development of interfaith tolerance. Australian society is beginning to realize the importance of understanding one another's religions and appreciating the diversity present. This awareness is helping to create a more harmonious environment where religious and cultural differences are no longer seen as divisions, but rather as strengths that enrich social life. It's undeniable that behind all of these changes, the role of the media and technology has been significant. In this digital age, Islam has become more accessible to everyone. Dawah programs through online platforms like social media, podcasts, and YouTube videos have become increasingly popular. Many Australians are now accessing content that clearly and openly teaches about Islam. This also helps dispel many of the negative stereotypes that may have previously existed in the minds of the public. Thanks to technological advancements, many people feel more comfortable learning about Islam from the comfort of their homes without fear or shame of asking questions. Several social media channels run by Muslims also provide deep insights into Islamic teachings, the daily lives of Muslims, and their experiences interacting with non-Muslim communities. All of this opens the eyes of Australian society to the fact that Islam is not a separate religion from their own lives, but rather a part of a larger society. On the other hand, while churches may be seeing a decline in attendance, it doesn't mean that Christianity is losing its influence in Australia. On the contrary, this shift serves as a call for other religions to continuously update their approaches to congregants, ensuring they remain relevant in a society that is ever-evolving. By the end of 2024, the changes that have taken place in Australia tell a story of how a country can transform into a more inclusive, open, and harmonious place. The increasing acceptance and growth of Islam in Australia show that religion is not something that divides, but rather can be a bridge to unite diverse communities. The quieter churches and busier mosques are signs that Australian society is undergoing a transformation, learning to appreciate religious diversity and finding a way of life that is more peaceful and meaningful. This more open religious pattern, marked by the rise in Muslim adherence, makes Australia a real example that differences can bring strength, not division. Islam is no longer just a religion, but a part of the growing social life that contributes to a more just, peaceful, and harmonious society.